In the headlines, more than a week after her alleged abduction from school, a 13-year-old Tarboro girl and her 20-year-old boyfriend are discovered. In lieu of the president's visit to Durham Monday, Rocky Mount makes it into the national spotlight, and it was a day of absolute honor and sadness as a Nash County Sheriff's deputy was laid to rest yesterday. We'll have coverage of the funeral of investigator Warren Lewis III. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello and thanks for tuning in to WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. More than a week after her alleged abduction from school, a 13-year-old Tarboro girl and her 20-year-old boyfriend are discovered over the weekend. On June 2nd, the Martin Middle School student Nancy Ramirez was checked out by family friend Leonardo Velasquez Frias. It's believed Frias showed faculty Ramirez's brother's identification card to release her. Frias, an agricultural worker, had been staying with Ramirez's family for 8 months, and it's believed the two developed a romantic relationship over that time. According to Tarboro police, the two were found in Columbia, South Carolina. Ramirez was taken into protective custody until local authorities could pick her up. Meanwhile, Frias is awaiting extradition back to North Carolina. Although Ramirez voluntarily fled with Frias, an arrest warrant charging him with abduction was issued because of her age. It was a day of absolute honor and sadness as Nash County Sheriff's deputy was laid to rest yesterday. Here's our coverage of the large-scale ceremony. In a crowd of more than 1,000 could be seen a sea of our region's finest law enforcement agents, all in attendance to salute one of their own. Monday afternoon, police, sheriff's deputies from North Carolina and Virginia, state troopers, U.S. Marshals, and many more flooded the grounds of Southern Nash Senior High School to say farewell to 38-year-old investigator Warren B. Lewis III, nicknamed Sneak. Working one of several operations in partnership with the U.S. Marshals Service, Lewis was gunned down as he attempted to serve murder warrants to 2 men in Kingston. 4 people, including a 16-year-old, are all now facing murder charges for Lewis's death. To honor the man whose life was taken away in the line of duty was a processional fit for a noble king. Lewis's body was escorted by several law enforcement agencies and led by motorcyclists with Raleigh police. His casket, draped with an American flag, was carried in on a horse-drawn caisson. As his body entered the home of the mighty Firebirds, his wife and 2 daughters looked on with the heaviest of hearts. The service that was attended by those in local, state, and even former federal government officials lasted a little more than an hour inside of the school's gymnasium. Though cameras were not allowed inside, we know that the service included reflections from Nash County Sheriff Dick Jenkins, homegrown U.S. Marshal of the Eastern District of North Carolina Scott Parker, and Director of the U.S. Marshal Service Stacia Hilton. 2 of Lewis's daughters, Lauren and Ashley, also read letters to their father that shook to the core, all inside the somber service. After the benediction and release, we were able to hear from Lewis's boss, Sheriff Dick Jenkins, as he tried to muster up words to describe the funeral.
Well, it was it's going to be tough for a long time.
All right, thank you.
We're going to miss you. We'll never replace the boy who left.
A heartbroken Marshal Scott Parker was also able to tell us how important Lewis's work was to their mission.
It's very hard. He's a very dedicated officer, family man, and dedicated to the citizens of Natchez and surrounding counties.
Leaving the school to be buried in a Middlesex cemetery, law enforcement signaled their final farewell in a powerful parade of sirens and lights. At Lewis's final resting place, he was given a 21-gun salute and 4 doves were released, 3 representing the Holy Trinity and 1 for Lewis to be with his Maker. Monday, Governor Beverly Perdue asked that all flags in Lenoir and Nash counties be flown at half-staff to honor Deputy Lewis. In Bailey, WHIG TV. As a special token of honor, 2 of the horses in the funeral procession also escorted former President Ronald Reagan at his death. We wish to send our deepest condolences and prayers for the Lewis family and to all who knew and loved the man with a heart to serve his community. When we return on today's news break, Rocky Mount makes national news, and it's our Pet of the Week. This and more right after these words.
It's back for a limited time. Every Buick in GMC is now being offered at GM employee price to the general public. Plus, you can now get 0% financing for up to 72 months too. Where? Only at Davenport Buick GMC in Rocky Mount. But that's not all. At Davenport, you'll also get something that GM employees don't even get. A lifetime warranty. GM employee price, 0% financing, and a lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer is for a limited time, and it's only available at Davenport Buick GMC in Rocky Mount.
When it's happening to you, you'll hear from us. WHIG TV Newsbreak is reporting on the news, issues, and stories that matter to you. Call us at 252-885-1814. Email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com or check us streaming live at whigtv.com. We're your voice, ready to bring you the news.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We're filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. In lieu of President Barack Obama's trip to Durham Monday to discuss jobs and the economy, Rocky Mount makes the national spotlight as a prototype to the needs of our state and our nation. Yesterday morning, Mayor of the city of Rocky Mount, David Combs, was on the CBS Early Show in a live interview with show anchor Chris Ragg. The Early Show chose to profile a community in North Carolina to express the needs of an average community in the state. And what better example than our city? According to North Carolina's Employment Security Commission, the city of Rocky Mount has held tops for the highest jobless rate of any metropolitan city in the state for months. Ragg spoke with Mayor Combs about the state of the national economy and how the national landscape compares to a local community like ours. Here's a little bit of that interview.
Let's go now to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where the jobless rate is 12.5%, the highest in the state. And Mayor David W. Combs joins us now to talk that over. Mr. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. President's in Raleigh today talking about jobs. Do you expect to hear anything from the president today that's going to give the people of your town any type of hope?
I would hope so. We're certainly dealing with unemployment, and a lot of people are struggling right now. So I think we are looking for that hope that something's going to be done to move this economy forward.
Anything in the economic recovery plan that has done anything to help your people over the last couple of years?
You know, we've had some projects here locally. It's funded some positions at the city. We've had some projects that it's helped us finish up that hopefully as the recovery continues, we'll be able to take advantage of it. But in terms of long-term sustainability, I'm not sure that it's helped as much as we thought it was going to help our local economy.
Your unemployment rate hovering around 12.5%, like I mentioned, the national rate 9.1%. Just a quick little background. Why is it so much higher in your city than it is around the nation?
Well, and again, if you look at cities that have 10, 11, 12%, you know, they're not having any parties either. It's tough for all of those cities that have high unemployment. But ours started back in the mid to late 90s when we lost textiles that went offshore, closed plants, and those jobs are never coming back. With the recent economy downturn, we've had some other plants that have closed, gone offshore because they just couldn't sustain their businesses. And when those added jobs were added to the textile jobs that we had already lost, it put us in a position that we have really been struggling. We've done some things through Carolina's Gateway Partnership, which is an economic development arm with both counties and the city of Rocky Mount and the private sector. And without that initiative, I'm not sure where we would be right now.
You can check out the entire interview on YouTube. It's now time for our Pet of the Week.
This is Floppy. Hi. And his name is Floppy because he has one ear that flops, and that is due to the fact that he at one time had some sort of a hematoma, and it's just cosmetic, so it's he can hear out of that ear. You know, there's nothing other that cosmetically wrong with it, and it can be fixed surgically, but there's really no need to unless he needed surgery for something else. But he's a healthy kitty, so. And he's a neutered male, and I would say he's at least 6 or 7, and Floppy is in need of a forever home. I'm fostering him right now, but he would be better off placed in a permanent home. And he loves dogs. He gets along with dogs. His best friend is a chocolate lab named Daisy. And he tolerates other cats, but he seems to get along better with dogs than cats. And he's a little bit squirmy right now, but normally he's playful, but since he's an older cat, he stays pretty calm most of the time. But he has his playful little moments, don't you, buddy?
Does he get along with everybody?
Yeah, I think as most cats are, he seems to be afraid of children. You know, especially small children, but I'm sure if he got used to them, he would be fine. And he gets along, he seems to prefer men. I don't know why, but he does. And he's just a good kitty. He needs a good home. And he's already fixed, he's been neutered, he's already vaccinated, so he's ready to go.
Okay, and how did you come across him?
He was a stray that was dumped in my neighborhood. I live at Westry Crossing, and unfortunately people, instead of spaying and neutering their pets, when they have too many, they put them out in the neighborhood or somewhere, thinking and hoping they'll have a chance to find a home and be adopted. So that's what we're hoping for here for Floppy.
And Janelle, tell us, why is it so important for people to adopt?
Well, because having a pet is actually good for you. Research shows that people who own pets have lower blood pressure, their stress levels are lower. Pets are just as good for us as we are for them. It's a pretty much good, even exchange, and of course they offer unconditional love. And they're always there when you get home, usually, if you keep them inside like you should. But
and if people want to find out more information of how they can adopt them, where should they call?
They can actually give me a call. My telephone number is 937-8462, and just if you leave a message, just explain that you saw Floppy and we're interested in meeting Floppy or possibly even giving him a home. He's a really good cat, and he'll make a super pet for somebody, and he's mine right now, and I would like to keep him, but I'm just not able to other than on a temporary basis. So he definitely deserves a good home. He's a good cat.
Thank you, Janelle and Floppy. After the break, it's sports and weather. Don't go anywhere.
It's back for a limited time. Every Buick and GMC is now being offered at GM employee price to the general public. Plus, you can now get 0% financing for up to 72 months too. Where? Only at Davenport Buick GMC in Rocky Mount. But that's not all. At Davenport, you'll also get something that GM employees don't even get. A lifetime warranty. GM employee price, 0% financing, and a lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer is for a limited time, and it's only available at Davenport Buick GMC in Rocky Mount.
We're your news team, bringing it home to you with meteorologist Fred Holdsworth, anchor Marie Torres, sports reporter Edward Green, and Matt Habit, our studio guy. WHIG-TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The business center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donovan Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at weather with WHIG-TV meteorologist Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
Well, our temperatures this morning were much cooler than what we have been seeing over the past several mornings, and the air much drier, so it even feels cooler. And we'll see this continue as we go on through the next couple of days, and then by the end of the weekend we go back into heat wave conditions with highs in the 90s, and by Monday mid to upper 90s. So enjoy this cool spell while it lasts. High pressure over the Great Lakes will bring cooler air down into our area for the next couple of days, as a cold front which passed through our area a day or two ago has pushed well to the south of our area. Let's take a look at our forecast map now, and we'll see what we're referring to here. First of all, here's that high pressure over the Great Lakes that is pumping down some cooler air from Canada. And this is the cold front that came through. It's gone stationary off the coast. Still a cold front through Georgia and Alabama, and then a warm front connected to a low over Kansas. Now this area right here, this is the area where we would expect to see severe weather today, severe thunderstorms, possibly a tornado or two along this warm front. Now, in addition to that, on the northern side of this front, right through here from Illinois on back into Iowa, flash flooding will be possible, as these storms will be putting down heavy rain and quite a bit of lightning. This high pressure over here, just to the north of the Four Corners, giving a pleasant day to the southern Rockies. There is an area of rain and thunderstorms in northern Wyoming, and flash flooding is also possible up in North Dakota, in the western part of that state. Rain and snow, even some snow flurries in the northern state right up here in Washington, the northern part of Washington, and into British Columbia right in here. The higher elevations will see some snow, but it'll be basically snow flurries. High pressure over the Gulf will keep the tropical activity down in that area, and we will see some rain showers and thunderstorms well to the south of us, say from Wilmington southward all the way down into the Everglades of Florida. Well, let's take a look now at our forecast, and for today we'll see a sunny sky with a high of 84. Winds will be north at 8 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 60, north wind at 6. For Wednesday, sunny with a high of 83, north wind at 7. Then for Wednesday night, cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 62, east wind at 5. Thursday, chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 85 and a south wind at 8. Now, some of these thunderstorms Wednesday night and Thursday could approach severe limits, so we'll have to keep an eye on those. Chance of showers and thunderstorms continues Thursday night with a low of 66. Chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 90. Same thing for Friday night, showers and thunderstorms with a low of 67, and Saturday, continuing chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 92 and a low of 66. Our high temperature yesterday was 82, our low this morning was 63. And that's a look at your Rocky Mount weather. Now back to you.
Thank you, Fred. And with me now with an update in sports is Edward Green. What's the latest, Edward?
Well, Marie, we got a lot of baseball going on, and we're going to get to some of that college action right now. As we told you last week about Post 58 from Rocky Mount doing great.
Right.
They also won last week, so that was good, and they're actually in action tomorrow night in Wilson. But for right now, we're going to get to some college baseball.
Okay.
After another grueling weekend of games, we are finally down to our final 8 teams that will be making the trip to Omaha this week for the College World Series. And what better way to jump right into the magic than with a series that had plenty of exciting moments. Starting with the #1 overall seed in Charlottesville, Virginia, the Cavaliers took charge in Game 1 with a 6-0 win and were winning 3-0 halfway through Game 2 when a 4-hour rain delay hit. The UC Irvine Anteaters came back after the delay with 6 runs to even the series. Irvine led 2-1 going into the bottom of the 9th of Game 3, but after recording 2 quick outs, Virginia had back-to-back base hits and a walk to load the bases, followed by shortstop Chris Taylor singling up the middle to plate a pair and send the Cavaliers to Omaha for the second time in 3 years. In Gainesville, #2 overall seed Florida looked to be in complete control after beating fellow SEC team Mississippi State 11-1 on Friday, but the Bulldogs battled back Saturday and won on a walk-off 2-run home run to force a Game 3. Mississippi State kept it close and even took a brief 6-4 lead in the 7th before falling behind in the bottom of the 9th inning and losing 8-6. Just down the road from us in Chapel Hill, overall #3 seed North Carolina held off multiple Stanford rallies both Friday and Saturday to advance, winning the first game 5-2 and the second one Saturday 7-5. This will be the Tar Heels' 5th trip to Omaha in the last 6 years. The defending national champions will continue their path to a repeat in Omaha. The South Carolina Gamecocks took care of upstart Connecticut in 2 games. Although each game started with UConn taking an early lead, South Carolina was able to bounce back and take each game handily. The number 5 overall seed, Florida State, became the only host to lose its Super Regional on Monday. Despite scoring 23 runs against Texas A&M in Game 2 to force a third game, the Seminoles' lack of pitching came back to bite them as the Aggies scored 6 runs in the first inning of Game 3 en route to an 11-2 win. It is Texas A&M's first trip to Omaha since 1999. And while multiple teams swept through their Super Regional, few, if any, did as impressively as the Vanderbilt Commodores. Vanderbilt, the 6th overall seed, will be making the school's first ever trip to Omaha on the backs of 2 outstanding pitching performances and a 3-home-run game in the clincher by junior first baseman Aaron Westlake, taking out a very impressive Oregon State team. In Austin, Texas, Arizona State looked to take control of its series against 7th seed Texas with a 3-1 win in the opener. But just as the Longhorns did in their regional, they battled back to take Game 2 5-1 and the clincher on Sunday 4-2. Texas has the pitching depth to rival anyone still in the dance and has proven to have a knack for never being out of a series. Lastly, California kept its dream season going, though with no dramatics as there were in the regional it played in Texas. The Golden Bears downed fellow Cinderfella Dallas Baptist in 2 games, blanking them in the first one 7-0 and winning the clincher 6-2. So now the brackets in Omaha shape up like this. Bracket 1 features Florida and Texas on one side, with Vanderbilt and North Carolina on the other, while Bracket 2 has Virginia and Cal on one half, while the other half featuring South Carolina and A&M. So, Marie, still a lot of good baseball starting this Saturday in Omaha, Nebraska with the College World Series before we crown a champion. And speaking of crowning champions, a little congratulations goes out to the Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki and owner Mark Cuban for defeating the Miami Heat in the series 4-2 for the NBA championship, and a well-deserved and very well-played finals.
All right, well, good. Thank you so much. That was the best update ever.
Excellent. Thank you, Marie.
And that's all for us here today on Newsbreak. Join us Thursday for more news that's impacting the community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.